shall we? I also ordered from a friend of mine a cassette of a band called Supersonic Piss. The album is called Courtesy Flush, and this is their final recording. This band is local to me, and they're friends of mine, and I used to love going to see them play live. And they broke up, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago or so. They all moved to different parts of the country. Very glad for them. But they did a reunion show last 2 weeks ago or something in St. Louis, and they wound up selling the rest of their merch online. I wound up picking up a copy just to kind of have as a memento. They were much better live than they ever were on album, but I just thought I'd pick up a cassette copy of that for shits and giggles. Don't know what I think of this beer. It's kind of fucking weird. Okay, so next, of course, I picked up Druk and Paysage de Verre split 12-inch. Paysage de Verre is one of my absolute favorite bands, and never had the chance to own any of their stuff on vinyl. In fact, Paysage de Verre on any physical format is very fucking hard to come by. So when I saw this pop up the other day, I immediately pre-ordered it. Not the other day, it was probably fucking 2 months ago at this point. I'm kind of, I don't know, I don't really know what I think of Druk. I have a couple of their records. Actually, I have probably 8 of their records or something. They have too many albums. I'm not sure what I really think of them politically. I think they're, from what I hear, they're some kind of former Nazi nationalists or whatever. I'm not trying to spread bad rumors or anything, but just black vinyl. I'm just not sure what I think of their music. Anyways, the Paysage de Verre side is fucking great. The Druk stuff is pretty great. I feel like everything they do is just kind of, yeah, you guys are great. I guess I'm interested in hearing them do something a little bit different or move on from their style. They just seem to keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and I'm a little bored of what they're doing. So that is the Paysage de Verre Druk split. One reason I was so stoked to be able to have a copy of this is that it's limited to 500 copies. And a couple of years ago, when the Paysage de Verre self-titled record, which is one of the finest black metal records ever recorded, came up on LP for the first time, limited to 300 copies, and I actually found out about the pre-sales for it ahead of time. And usually with that kind of thing, I feel like I'm the last one to know that something came out on vinyl and what have you. So I missed out on the chance to buy the self-titled LP. Always still kicking myself for that. So to have Paysage de Verre on wax for the first time is a great pleasure. But also this fucking vinyl came bent to shit. Looks like in the post office they bent the side of this fucking thing. So that's that. So that was ordered from Seasons of Mist, and they sent me a free copy of Blood of Kingu. I guess this is their latest album. I'm not really sure. I remember them putting out a record a couple of years ago, and people were kind of nuts about it, but I know Blood of Kingu have, I think, 3 albums under their belt at this point. I don't know. I didn't really think much of this band. They sound kind of somewhere between Hate Forest and Druk or something. But got a free copy of that for what have you. Oh boy, next. I forgot that I had this in the pile. Oh, got Wolves in the Throne Room in there from the car. So another death metal classic that I've really always loved, actually, is Disastrous Murmurs Rhapsodies in Red. Man, this fucking record is so good, and I finally am so glad to own a copy of it. Again, Osmos Productions. This is a reissue from 2015, although I think they originally released it... No, it was originally released on some no-name, super limited label, but Osmos picked it up maybe a year later. I believe this originally came out in 93. Osmos, I think, did it again in 94. So they've held licensing rights to it and did a nice version of it in 2015. I like this red jewel case here. I would say pretty much like a primitive Cannibal Corpse. If you're not familiar with Disastrous Murmur. I believe they share members with Pungent Stench, or maybe they just kind of came from the same scene or what have you. Nice thick paper in this booklet. Osmos for once did a really good job. I'm just looking for the typo. Let's see here. This font is so difficult to read. But check out that airbrushed album cover, man. It's so great. Again, like I keep harping about in my videos, I love the super heavy analog live sound this album has. It just sounds so fucking real and just rattles your fucking rib cage if you turn it up loud enough. So that's been playing quite a bit in my car. Lastly, man, this is an album I never thought I would own a copy of, let alone on wax. So I don't think I've ever heard very many people mention Worm Phlegm, and this is Worm Phlegm's initial release. The album title is quite a mouthful, and I'm probably only going to say it once, so listen up. The album is called In an Excruciating Way, Inhabited with Vermin and Pests and Violated by Executioners who Practice Incendiarism and Desanctifying the Pious. Yes. So this almost, I want to say this probably was maybe a joke project or just like a one-off improvisational session with two guys. One is in Corpsest and the other is in Tyranny, if I'm not fucking that up. And so this came out originally in 2001 on tape, I want to say, maybe CDR, limited to 100 copies. And I somehow found out about it back then and downloaded a copy of it because I knew I would never fucking own a copy of it. Anyway, super gloomy, haunting, chilling, cavernous, like a doom metal band jamming in a torture room or something like that. It's got some of the most haunted and painful, shrieking vocals I've ever heard on any album. I hate this artwork. This looks like fucking Photoshop mashed together dog shit. I would have definitely appreciated the original album artwork, even if it were just somewhere on the inside. It's nowhere to be found. Again, like I keep saying, this is revisionist and lazy, and I don't know why I have to put up with this kind of shit. I feel like a fucking old man. So it comes with a LP jacket, but the paper is so thin, you know this LP is just going to rip straight out of this thing in a matter of weeks. So it comes in this nice anesthetic bag. Nice, I don't know, 180 gram black vinyl. Only available on black vinyl. Not sure of the limitation of this, but I highly recommend picking this up because this is a fucking... It's pretty weird that this is actually still available. I got this, I think, from Analog Worship, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or Arcane Altar. I get the two confused. But you can still probably find it on the Metal Detector if you use that amazing resource. So yeah, killer, haunted, gloomy, tortured doom metal. Really can't wait to spin this over and over and over again. I've given it one spin. It sounds fucking phenomenal, and I'm super happy to finally have a copy of it. I never fucking thought I would have a copy of this on any format. It did get reissued back in, I think, 2011, and I think it was limited to like 300 copies or so, and they all just disappeared immediately. One thing, and the reason I found out about this newer reissue of it was because there's a thread on the Nuclear War Now forums called something like "Go Buy This Right Now" or something, and it's where basically people find something in a distro or on eBay that's going for some criminally underpriced or something like that, or something in a distro that has sold out everywhere else, but for some reason a few copies remain in some unknown distro coming out of God knows whatever corner of the earth. So I check that every once in a while just to see if there's something interesting or rare or something that I could jump on. I like bargains, as you know. And this popped up. I never thought I would see anybody talk about Worm Phlegm on that forum, and I just immediately ordered it. So here it is. Happy to have this in my lovely collection. So that, I believe... No, I'm forgetting two releases. Holy shit. 1 second. 2 more CDs that I got in the last, I don't know, what's it been, 2 weeks or so. I got a lot of shit coming in still. I made a quick order to Nuclear War Now Productions after watching Eric Bauer's last video, one of my favorite YouTubers. Actually, he did a video last night, so this will be a video or two ago, where he played this album, Pathogen, Forged in the Crucible of Death, in the background. This is the second time Eric Bauer has put an album on behind his video, and I immediately bought it. This is fucking great. This band, I think, is from Singapore, Philippines. And this is just like no frills. There's really no selling points to this, and that's what I love about it. I keep saying that about a couple of albums every once in a while. It's just really no cliches. It's just a couple of guys having fun playing killer death metal. It's not overproduced. It's not over anything. It's just fucking fun and great headbanging, gory fucking death metal. You could say it's kind of old school in style. I really love this hand-drawn artwork, too. Look at that thanks list. They thank everybody. I'm pretty sure I'm in there, too, for now talking about the album. Anyway, front cover is killer. All these nice little gory borders and stuff. Killer stuff. Just no frills. Filipino death metal. I feel like a lot of these sort of Eastern countries, they sort of pull influences from all over the world. American death metal, Swedish death metal, South American death metal quite a bit too, and have kind of an interesting potpourri or melding of styles that I really appreciate when it comes to something sounding kind of out of a far corner of the earth. But since I was picking that up for $6 from Nuclear War Now, I figured why not spend another couple of dollars and pick up another album from Unausprechlichen Kulten. This is the album that I had combed over in the past because the album artwork just didn't really do anything for me. Haven't had a chance to listen to this very much. In fact, I think tonight was the first time I had popped it in. Don't know much about this, but upon first couple of tracks or so, sounded pretty fucking killer. Gonna say, though, that I think this design for a digipack, you can't get the digipack out of the top here. You got to go down in here. This is like the evilest design for a digipack ever. I'm not even ever going to bother pulling that out as far as I'm concerned. Fuck it. I'm done. Anyways, also, I hope you like the new angle. I was kind of getting tired of my videos being like super wide and you can see most of this room. It seemed like it was like a 300-degree angle or something. Anyways, kind of looks like the old cell phone videos that I was doing. Still kind of finding my situation that I like here. We got the sound, we got the volume of the background music. Now I'm not really happy with having this microphone pick up my voice, but it doesn't really pick up the music in the background. It worked really well for that last video where I was playing, like I added the music later on. I love doing that kind of stuff, but I wish I could just kind of come down here, hit a button, have a video cranked out. But it's just not that easy. And also the lighting has kind of been kind of difficult, but I hope this looks pretty good. I think I'm fairly happy with the way I've done everything in this video so far. So I hope it turns out okay. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Join me next time. Hope to have a couple other videos up this week about other topics. And maybe we'll return someday to the alphabetical stuff that we've been working on. I think we're in the DE. We're probably under the DE, death, dead, maybe somewhere around there. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see you next time.